Beth with 50 Plus Beauty, and I'm so glad you're here with me today to create this burgundy eyeshadow look. I really like burgundy shadows, especially with fall and winter coming up. They're kind of a little more dramatic, a little more cozy. Also though, whenever you're like doing a work look or some other look where you've got burgundy on, it's kind of a nice match to me. Sometimes they say don't match with your clothes, but I really am kind of a matchy-matchy person. And so I feel like in a work setting, for instance, if I have an important meeting, it kind of makes everything blend a little better and I really like it. Now to create this look, I'll be using a mix of drugstore and high-end products. So let me take off this makeup and we'll get started. Okay, let's get down to it. Now, I have already created the makeup look on this eye, just in the interest of time, because I don't want to waste your time. I have foundation on and primer and that kind of thing on my face. So I'll be doing this eye with some blush and some lipstick to finish it off. I have never tried this before, so we'll see if we can make this eye match this eye. Certainly hope so. Now I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution palette, and it's a wonderful matte palette, and as you can see, it has lots and lots of lovely shades. First, we'll be going in on the brow, and we'll be using this color and this color together to do a little highlight on that brow. Kind of go right in there. I'm not sure I like all of the yellow in one of the colors, so I kind of mixed it together with a little more peachy color to kind of blend it out a little bit. Now I'll also go into the inner corner, get some of that darkness there, touch that other one too. Now for the lid, I'm going to go in with this color right here, kind of a medium brown tone. We'll just go ahead and put that on the lid. And I'm using my wonderful e.l.f. dollar brushes that I love. These really pack on the lid color, and they're very, very economical, being only $1. That's that lid color there. Now let's go in and do a little crease work, a little transition work. And I'm going to go in and use this darker brown right here in the crease. And so we'll just kind of take that and tap off your brush and just start doing the little windshield wiper motion in the crease. Burgundy is kind of a dark, kind of a dramatic look, but even if you're just wearing like a burgundy shirt, it's kind of nice to blend that in, kind of make it all match a little bit. Okay, a little more in the crease maybe. It is a challenge to do one eye separately from the other, but we'll see if I can do it. Okay, so far so good. Now let's go in with a little bit of that burgundy. This is a lovely burgundy shade that they have right here in this palette. Burgundies are a little hard to find in palettes. It's kind of surprising because I think they're lovely colors. I really wish, especially in these matte palettes, that you could find a lot more of the bright colors. This one actually has some pretty good matte shades, and being a Makeup Revolutions palette, I think it's only $15. And these shadows go on beautifully. They are highly pigmented. They kick up a little bit of dust, as some of them do, but not too bad. You just kind of make sure that you're tamping off that brush every time. I've got a little fallout under there, so there we go. I think I'll come over here, add a little more on that side. This could get dangerous. Pretty soon I'll have black eyes. Okay, a little more there. Let's go in, and I'm using my MAC 217 brush just kind of to blend out the edges there. I always like to do happy eyes. Sometimes what I like to do is go back in and use a little bit of the light color on the inner part of the lid. So I'll go back in and blend these two colors together a little bit and just kind of pat that on there. Gives a little brightness. I think you at home could definitely use some shimmer there. One thing I've noticed about the lights here is they're so intense that I just used a little bit of shimmer on, before when I was practicing. I used a little bit of shimmer, and oh my, these lights make it look absolutely terrible. I think maybe you could get away with it at home. Okay, now for the liner, I'm using a wonderful shade, and this is from Pure Cosmetics. I'm using this liner called Rain, which I absolutely hate it when they do this. The liner is actually about this color. It's a burgundy-ish, kind of a plumish color, but it is called Rain, and it's the Pure Cosmetics, and it is not a liquid liner. It's actually just a little pencil, oil-based liner. So I'll just go in here. Oh my, I've really got fallout under that eye. And I'll just go in and do that. I really like this color. And amazingly, it looks softer than a black, but it really doesn't have too much of a visible plum look, especially when you're using a plumish or a burgundy shadow. But it just helps things blend rather nicely. And they did send me this for my review, but I really do like it. I'm not very familiar with using colors other than black or brown, but I do like this plum. It's rather nice. You know, this fallout under here is really bothering me. Before I go into the lower, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of that fallout. Kind of redo this a little bit. So we'll kind of fix that. Get that looking a little nicer right there. Much better. And so I'm going to come in again with this little pure liner in Plum, actually Rain, and come a little bit under this lower lash line, just to bring that plummy color there. You can see it a little better on the lower lash line that it is plum. Do a little wing out to the side. Happy eyes. I'll do a little more wing on this side. Now I'm going to go in to open up the eyes. I've done it on this side, but I'm using the Milani Shadow Eyes in Almond Cream, and I really, really like this one. It really does tend to stay on your lower waterline. Some of them do and some of them don't. And this is one that I find that I really like because it does really stick around. Do a little more on that side. Looks a little strange before you finish your mascara, but there is that. Now I'll go ahead in and just kind of use my little Tweezerman metal eyelash comb, which I love, and I'll have the links down for all of these products below so you can see them. Then I'm using my Trim eyelash curler, and I always curl my lashes. It takes just a few seconds, and I think it makes a really big difference. My lashes tend to go downward a little bit, and so when they're curled up, they just look a little longer, which is always nice. Using the Lancome Hypnose Drama Mascara in black. Got it on the other side already. So let's see if we can match this. Kind of do little jiggles to get that mascara down to the base of the lashes, give you a thicker look down there. I use this on the bottom too. I like this mascara. It's lengthening and adds a little volume, actually quite a bit of volume, and it doesn't tend to flake. And it sticks around, which is very, very nice. I'm going to go back in with my little Tweezerman metal eyelash comb. Kind of straighten things out. Being bad, I shouldn't do that. I should use my brush cleaner, but I don't like to get mascara stuck in the little tines because it can ruin it. And I love that little thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my little MAC 217 blending brush, and it doesn't have anything on it except maybe a little bit of the other side's crease color. Just going to kind of blend everything out. Okay, there are the burgundy eyes, a little more dramatic. What we're going to do next is to go in with a little under eye setting powder. We just put some concealer down there, which is kind of wet and sticky. So I'm going to use the Real Techniques Powder Blue Collection Soft Blending Brush. This is of their new premium line, and they sent this to me, which I was really happy about to get to review it. And I've been using it now for about a week and a half, and I love this little brush. Oh, it's kind of blue, actually. It's kind of strange. You can kind of see it's a little bit blue, which is kind of interesting. But they say that it mimics squirrel bristles, although this is an artificial bristle brush, which is just fine with me. Many of my brushes are. But it's very soft, and it really does a great job. And I really needed a brush to do the under eye blending and also a little bit of the highlighting, which this brush is very good for. Very, very soft. I really do like this brush. So that works very nicely there. Now I'm also going to use it on my Frankenstein divots. And for those of you who've been around, as we get older, sometimes we lose fat on our faces. And this is the Kevin Aquan palette, and I absolutely love this. And I just use a little bit of the highlighter called Candlelight Powder. And I've noticed that it does a beautiful job in my little Frankenstein divots. See how it goes in here, that I've lost fat there? I would love to have a fat filler, but I had a very bad experience in the past with that, so I'm afraid. So I think I'm going to leave well enough alone. So there's a little bit of that. I'll run a little bit of that down my nose. Just a little bit. A little bit on the Cupid's bow. Make our lips look a little bigger. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of blush, and I'll be using this Maybelline Master Blush palette. I really do like this one. And I'll be using that little hot pink color. We'll start with that and see if that is a good match. And I'm just using a no-name brush. Actually, I think this is Glam and Beauty from Walmart. And I can tell it was inexpensive, and I can tell it is starting to fall apart a little bit, but all I need to do is get some crazy glue, and I really do like this brush. So it does not bother me that it's falling apart because it was cheap enough that I can glue it. Very good. Now we're going to go back with some of that highlighter in the Kevyn Aucoin palette, and we're just going to use a little bit of that candlelit powder again. Just kind of brush that on with our little Real Techniques brush. Nice. For lips, I'm going to be doing kind of a burgundy lip with this eye makeup, and I'm going to be going in on the lip liner with the Jordana Easy Liner for lips. And there's a look at the Jordana Easy Liner for lips. I know it's hard to see. I'm actually getting another camera, so hopefully I can show you my products a little better in the future. And to make your lips look larger, carry on between one in the Cupid's bow, flatten it out so that your lips look like, oh my, they're so big, I don't even have space for a Cupid's bow. Then I'm going to go in with Revlon Color Stay Lipstick in Always Sienna. And this is a really good long wearing formula, which I really like. It's not too drying. Some of these liquid lipsticks really are drying, so I really do appreciate this Revlon Color Stay. Revlon has a lot of really good lipsticks. Now I'm going to add a little bit of the gloss that comes with it on the other side. Okay, we're going to powder down some of that with our NYX face powder. I get really shiny. I had very, very oily skin for many decades of my life, and really it's still kind of oily, which I guess is good for wrinkles, but it was hell for acne because I always had pimples. Until I was like 47, I had pimples. I mean, it wasn't fun. Okay, now you can tell I've got kind of a high powder look. So we're going to go in. I'm going to use some of this Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer Mist. Here's a look at that. It says 12-hour power. I like this one very much. Whoa. Although I felt like I had a fire hose coming on my face. It was a lot of product there. Not really such a mist. It was more like a hose. Let me dry that off a little bit. Woo! Okay, that's a look at my Burgundy eyeshadow. Now, if you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll subscribe and click the little bell to be apprised of my future videos. That way you won't miss anything. Now, I always like to leave you with a thought for the day. So I've been using this little card deck called The Language of Letting Go, and that's how that looks. And we'll just go ahead and give these a good little shuffle, and we'll see what God in the universe wants us to concentrate on for today. Here we go. Let's pick a good card, something that will benefit all of us. Ooh, this is a scary one. Apologizing. Apologizing. It's got a little heart on it. Today I will try to be clear and healthy in my apologies, taking responsibility for my own actions and nobody else's. That is so true. We can't control others, just ourselves. I will seek God's help in figuring out what I truly need to apologize for, and I will do so without reservation. And you know, in my life, in my first half, it was very hard for me to make apologies. And then I really started to change in that, because I realized that whenever I do something wrong, and believe me, I do a ton wrong, I really need to atone for that. We call it making amends, and really come through with an apology and try to do better. And I really tried to start actually apologizing, because then I felt like I could go to sleep at night and feel like my side of the fence was doing okay. Apologies are a part of life, and when we handle them correctly, we can have a wonderful second half. Take care, see you next time.